hey, Wargamers, today I have something a little bit different for you. It's not Tau, it's not even 40K. No, instead it is a Kickstarter for a Skaven-like army for Blood Bowl. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, the guys from Scalebro Miniatures contacted me and they said, hey, we are starting this Kickstarter and would you mind taking a look at it? If you like what you see, we can send you some samples to share with people. And I said, sure. So I looked at some images that they had for preview and I thought, hey, that looks pretty cool. There's really a nice level of detail in those models. So I'd be happy to take a look at them. And so they went ahead and sent me some samples of their full lineup. Now the Kickstarter is called Sharptails. And as I mentioned, it's a Skaven-like army for Blood Bowl, but you really, it's rat people for generic fantasy football game. However you want to spin that, go ahead. But basically, yeah, it's Skaven, and they look pretty nice. The full lineup includes ogre, linemen, runners, blitzers, throwers, so everything you need for a Blood Bowl game. And then that's kind of the basic package, and all the pledges on top of that are just adding different levels of, accoutrement to enhance your gameplay, different add-ons and stuff like that. So that's the basis of the Kickstarter. Let's take a look at the stuff that they sent me. So they sent me the Rat Ogre and 2 runners, which, when I saw the 3D renders of these guys, I thought that the level of detail was going to be hard to do just because it looks so delicate. But you know what? They came through, and it really does have that level of detail, which I was really, really happy with, particularly in the fur. There's really nice detail in there. So, and as you would expect, this is a very delicate miniature. So, just for scale comparison, we have, a whole Rat Ogre here. You could use that for fantasy if you wanted to. And then here is a Primaris Marine, right? So, yeah, they're pretty beefy, at least for the Ogre, right? And then the normal Skaven rat people are considerably smaller and, considerably more delicate as a result of that, right? So, much smaller, but again, that same level of detail. They're all very easy to assemble, and they all, they all go together very, very easily. There's very high tolerance in the casting. So I didn't have any issues putting them all together. They do come with bases. I left these off the bases just because I want to show you that they have pegs on the bottom that will facilitate their easy placement on bases. So that's going to anchor them in place. You don't have to worry about them slipping off, anything like that. You can just peg that right into the base and not run into any issues. But a really high degree of detail. And I think one of the things that, the models themselves are impressive, but as someone that has to ship things, I was also very impressed with the shipping that they did. So this is the box that it came in, right? This is a very nice cardboard box, but it also had some significant padding in it, right? So just for reference, like that's the same height as the model, and there's 2 of these in there. So they, spare no expense when it comes to packaging, which I think says a lot about the, intent and character of the company, that they're actually willing to put that into shipping and make sure that everything gets to you in one piece. So very happy about that. The guys that I've been talking to have been very collegial and nice. So I'm happy to kind of talk about their product and everything like that too. So very happy with the overall product. By the time this video goes live, there will be a little bit under 3 weeks remaining in the Kickstarter, but it is already funded. It's already actually twice their initial goal, so it's at a little bit over 7,000 when the goal was 3,400, and that means that, yes, stretch goals are starting to come through. I don't know what those are all going to be. Or what those are going to look like. They have them all listed on the Kickstarter, of course. But some things are like this football that I put in the Rat Ogre hand here. That's not something that really comes with the Rat Ogre. They sent me that as a sample, but it just fits so perfectly in his hand that I had to put it in there, right? So yeah, just lots of really nice stuff. It looks like they have some different variants, so it's not all rats. Like they have a mole guy that they're working on too. Oh, just a note on the tails here, right? So the tails are all one piece, and they slot into kind of the tailbone position of the miniature. So very nicely constructed and divided in terms of assembly. There's a joint here for each arm, the head is separate and one of the legs was separate, but that was it. So it was very easy to assemble and highly detailed. So happy with that. There's just like I said, just a few weeks left in the Kickstarter, so plenty of time for you to get in and get some of those added perks and everything like that. One of the things that I think is amazing about this Kickstarter is that they have the option of actually getting your army painted, and the painting that they have on display on the Kickstarter looks really good. It has a level of detail to it that you would expect from kind of like a showcase army. At least these pictures look like something that you would see in a product catalog. And so if you are pledging at a certain level, you can actually get that same quality paint job for your army just out of the box, which I think is really cool. And you can pick the colors and everything like that. So again, happy to showcase this type of thing. I know it's not normally what we talk about, but we all appreciate good models, and these seem to be some pretty nice ones. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out the Kickstarter. Of course, there's a link in the description. And as always, happy wargaming. Hey everyone, this channel is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining our Patreon community and continuing the conversation over on the new Invasive Wargaming Discord server. Special thanks to Shifty, Scott Heater, Nick Steele, Jared Egler, Tao Oswald, Stephen Cohen, Jake Johnson, Eric Jackson, Benjamin, Julian Peck, Andy M. Young, Peter Benjamin Parker, and Chris Kessler.